Many of you have been wondering, will Tesla ever build a gigafactory in India? And believe it or not, I have the answer. I even shared the answer on this channel around 6 months ago. Not many of you probably noticed it back then, but here is what it is, and now we basically know what is going to happen. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of the journey of this channel. I've only been doing this for about a year now, and it's been fantastic to take you on this journey with me as I learn all about what's really going on in the world of electric cars, in the world of renewable energy. And it's been quite an eye-opener. I've learned a lot of very interesting things over this time, spending hundreds of hours, thousands of hours researching the market. One thing I predicted that, Tesla would not build its next Gigafactory in India. I predicted that Tesla would build another Gigafactory in China. Obviously, they've just announced it's going to be right next door to Shanghai. Makes complete sense. And it turns out Tesla has decided, the Electric Viking, he was right. We better go ahead and just do what he said. No, just joking. Of course not. But Tesla has just said, they've withdrawn all of their employees working in India before because India is playing hardball. To be fair, India, in my view, are, what do they say, cutting off your nose to smite your face, or, those kinds of sayings, right? They're hurting themselves at the expense of their own pride. They have a conflict with China, therefore they won't accept any electric cars from China, but they charge enormous tariffs on cars outside of India. Anything that's not made inside of India has 100% tariff. That, my friends, is one of the highest tariffs in the world for any kind of car. But to do that to electric cars, to me, I think that's a bad move. The other thing to keep in mind, a lot of people forget this. India has a lot of people, 1.4 billion. Second most populous country in the world, and it's probably going to be the most populous country in the world within the next decade. But not many people actually buy cars. In fact, the car market there is way smaller than China's car market. I mean, it's around 30% of the size. Now, Tesla already has reported that the Tesla India team has been reassigned to Asia Pacific, the APAC, and other markets. Tesla is getting out of the country now. The team in India includes Semi Jain, who previously worked for Porsche on the legacy automaker's electrification effort. It also includes David Feinstein, who has been with Tesla for years and works with global and international businesses. Most of Tesla's employees in India were tasked to focus on the company's efforts in Dubai and other Middle East markets. Tesla shifted its workers from India to focus on the Asia Pacific, including Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and Taiwan. You'd think, right, this doesn't make sense. I mean, think about how many people are in India. 1.4 billion and counting very quickly. These other markets are minuscule. I mean, there's only 24 million people in Taiwan. There's only 25 million people in Australia. Why would they be focusing on those markets? Much easier to sell electric cars, or much easier to sell cars, period, in those markets. According to the Economic Times, India places a 60% import tax on EVs priced $40,000 or lower, and a 100% import duty tax on EVs priced higher than $40,000. Obviously, right now, not a whole lot of EVs are priced below $40,000, at least not Western branded ones anyway. Tesla lobbied the Indian government to reduce its import duty rates. Tesla specifically requested that the government consider a standard tariff of 40% on electric cars, regardless of customs value. I think that's way too high, but hey, would have been a nice compromise. The Indian government was completely uninterested in compromising. Interesting, isn't it? Now, there's a lot of criticism on the Chinese government. They say that the Chinese government doesn't compromise. Why don't we have a look at their car strategy? What does the Chinese government do when it comes to cars? Are their import taxes as prohibitive? Nowhere near. Yes, you can import them. It's not easy, same as India, but these import taxes are far lower. In response to Tesla's request, India said it would grant tax cuts if the EV maker purchased $500 million worth of auto components from India. India has also refused to sell cars in the country made in China. However, Tesla Gigafactory Shanghai is the company's main export hub, so obviously this makes it hard. India's Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said it wouldn't be a problem for Tesla to get benefits if it manufactures vehicles in the country. Basically, they gave Tesla an ultimatum. They said, make them here or piss off, pretty much. To be fair, that's basically what they said. This is a strategy adopted by a number of automakers, which partially builds vehicles outside India and then assembles them in Indian-based sites. But a certain amount of work has to be done for that to qualify. The Indian government turned down Tesla's request to reduce duties under the belief that the current tariffs were acceptable and not a hindrance. So a 100% tariff is apparently acceptable. In my view, this shows you that the Indian government isn't really that serious about electric cars. We looked at whether the duties need to be rejigged, but some domestic production is happening and some investments have come in with the current tariff structure. So it is clear that this is not a hindrance, Vivek Johri, chairman of the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, said. Obviously, that's his opinion. Tesla disagrees. So does, well, most automakers on the face of the planet. There's not many automotive factories in India, especially when you consider the size of the population. Personally, I think this is a good move by Tesla. I never thought it would work. I was surprised that Tesla was even, to be honest, entertaining the idea of going to the Indian market. I don't see why you'd want to get involved in that place. And frankly, one of the reasons is corruption. Yes, it's true. Corruption has been decreasing pretty much every year now for about a decade in India. Does that mean it's not a corrupt country to deal in? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. But my opinion is it is. I read articles on various news websites about different kinds of political corruption and scandals happening all over India pretty much on a daily basis. And unfortunately, to me, I think it's just not a place where you want to go and build a factory where you become reliant on that country. At any point in time, they could take it off you. Now, the same thing could happen to Tesla in China, obviously. But obviously, building a gigafactory in India is basically doubling your risk. And by the way, India has done this before. They have reclaimed factories from companies outside of India when they've decided, no, we don't like you anymore. We don't like you anymore. We're taking your factory. You can go away. They have done this. If this did happen to Tesla, it would not be the first time it's happened to a Western company in India. In my view, India played hardball for too long. Tesla then lost interest. It's time for them to move on. Good move, Tesla, and I agree. As I said, Tesla will not be building a gigafactory in India anytime soon. I doubt it will happen before 2030. I would say 0% chance I'd be willing to bet a lot of money it won't happen before 2030. After 2030, anything's on the table. A new government could come along. The culture could change significantly. I don't know. The other thing to remember is that for most people living in India, Tesla's electric cars are out of reach in terms of price for the Indian population. I'd say probably 97% of the Indian population can't afford a Tesla electric car. This is not a criticism, it's just a fact. Now, when Tesla does build their $25,000 electric hatchback, the Tesla Model A or the Model 2, whatever you want to call it, yeah, there are probably more people in India then that will be able to afford one. However, what India needs far more than electric cars or any cars at all is to get cars off the road, replace them with, well, either cars like the quadricycle, Wuling Hongwan Mini EV, those micro cars, or electric scooters, electric tuk-tuks, small electric vehicles, electric bicycles, anything small and electric that's efficient, that doesn't pollute, and that's cheap as well. Now, one interesting comment I read, and I'm just going to leave you with this. It's not a coincidence that the poorest countries often have the highest tariffs. When I was working for a bike company, I tried to give a small African bicycling group who really needed some good bikes. I tried to send them a bunch of bikes. In fact, I tried to send them about $10,000 worth of bicycles. However, they said the tariffs on them receiving those bikes were 200%. So if I sent them the bikes, they'd have to pay just as much as what they were worth in order to buy them. Just made no sense. This does seem to be a common theme in poor countries. This is from a nation, though, speaking of India, that used to be a world centre of commerce and trade in centuries past. Protectionism doesn't work. Free trade has always been the key to prosperity. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section below. This is just one person's opinion. Do you think Tesla will ever build a Gigafactory in India, or am I wrong? Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.